T.C.S. Cerberus, pilot notification, per Regulation 86J49, 2681.103, termination of non-essential information services, report to pilots. All non-official bandwidth has been reserved for official communications only. We will resume service when deemed necessary. In the meantime, please see your commanding officer for any non-official information requests.
T.C.S. Cerberus, Captain Report 2681.103. As you were informed by your final ICIS briefing in the preceding sector, the sects are messing with the binary stars in the Proxima system. The details aren't terribly clear yet, but Intel believes it is some form of stellar accretion device. Now I'm a captain, not an Intel digit brain, so I'm as unsure as you are as to how this device works. The only information we have is that by harnessing the power of the two suns through the use of some particularly advanced methods, they have the potential to power a wormhole twice as big for as long as the star's energy holds out. Even a non-scientist can figure out that could equal a very long period of time. Our work in the Krieger system has gone a long way in allowing additional Confederation ships to move into position for an assault on Proxima. We're expecting to run into a bunch of mean-cornered bugs with big guns. So don't lose that edge. Now I don't care about the past anymore. This is the most important stage of all, and the past means nothing if we do not succeed. We will triumph or die here, pilots. This is the shot to make up for any losses. So, let's get to it. We're going to be reinforcing some Confederation ships scattered throughout this system currently and taking the most direct route to the device the aliens have constructed. Unlike your previous encounter with such a device, I don't think we'll just be able to blow this thing up and call it a day. You are probably going to be called upon to provide some precision strikes to allow our boys and girls a chance to get in close and examine this thing. But who am I to predict our next action? That will be outlined in your next ICIS briefing. This could be our final push, ladies and gentlemen. As such, you are to report to the mess for the best rations we have and a few bottles of contraband confiscated from Lieutenant Garrett's quarters. Maestro, I'm sure the other pilots appreciate this selfless act of giving. That is all.
From Lieutenant Sheen Stiletto Talbert, subject, reply Enoch Merkins.
So, anyone figure out Clippy yet?
From Major Amber Amazon L. Barrett, subject, reply Enoch Merkins.
Nope, not a clue.
From Major Terrence Zero Hearn, subject, reply Enoch Merkins.
I've called in a few contacts, and nothing. I know I'm gonna die, and my last word is gonna be that damn name.
From Lieutenant Lance Frost, Casey, subject, reply Enoch Merkins.
Not me. My last words are going to probably be, "Oh God, I don't want to die. Please don't let me die." Just kidding. No clue. Can't say I've been trying to figure it out, though.
Informational Supplement 36GA42F Section 1. Classification R2. Authorized personnel only. Contents. Continuation of partial transcript of General Assembly hearings on theoretical analysis of alien intent. General Assembly abstract. Key members of Assembly regard statements of representatives from Hurston Dynamics, Ginter and Combine, Bardic Industries, T.C.S., and T.C. Scientific Organization. Extract from Dr. Jacob Hildreth's address to the committee.
The group has reviewed the documents you presented us, Doctor. We are very interested in hearing your continued comments.
Thank you, Chairman. Since we last met, you are no doubt aware of the escalation of the alien activity within the Sol sector. This further underlines the problematic interpretation of the initial conflict merely being a single-minded attempt to expand alien influence of our section of the galaxy.
Reviewing the last comments we heard from you, you were about to expand on which of the possible interpretation of alien intent you considered being the most viable.
Exactly. Well, unfortunately, as we gather more and more data, my preferred interpretation of our team's findings has a tendency to be extremely mutable. However, I will attempt to offer my opinions, limited as they may be. As you can tell from the documentation you reviewed, there were multiple instances of energy signature common to the alien craft being detected in certain systems just outside of the initial conflict. The sectors in question are Kilra, Mushrak, and Epsilon. In the Kilra sector, within the Kuryu-Pak quadrant, signatures were detected in K's tick system. In the Mushrak sector, within the Tercatra quadrant, signatures were detected with the Hala system. Finally, in Epsilon sector within the second quadrant, signatures were detected within the Valgard system. Similar signatures have been detected within the Proxima system. These signatures are not indicative of the enemy movement and engagement activity as is associated with their standard capital ships and fighters. As of yet, we are unable to determine the vector for these readings. It leads us to believe that the aliens are engaging in activities above and beyond the standard military offensive we have witnessed thus far.
Why do you draw this conclusion? Even if the signatures are, as you say, not indicative of the vessels we have encountered, who is to say that this is not reflective of non-offensive organizational behavior we have not been privy to?
I cannot. However, I do believe that we would have an indication if these readings were related towards standard fleet movement, resupply runs, etc. It is our belief that these signatures represent vessels intended to work under the cover of military craft. Science vessels must exist on the alien side, and we have yet to see any. Due to the lack of any significant military encounters in the systems mentioned, excluding Proxima, we believe that this represents the activity of a reconnaissance team.
For what purpose?
That is open for discussion. There is not any known strategic value that the systems have. There are a number of theories as to the reason. They could possibly be attempting to gather intel on possible places for the construction of additional wormhole devices. They could have been searching for weak points within what was once assumed to be strategic positions based on old data. By old, I mean centuries old. There could be minerals or other sources of energy specific to the alien ships that is found only in these systems. However, they could also be involved in any number of other missions. There is always the possibility they were looking for something. We do not have enough data to render a conclusive statement.
Your recommendation, Doctor.
I recommend that we have a constant TCSI on the quadrants this activity was discovered. I have with me a number of possible deployment schemes for intel probes in these areas. If you refer to the next set of documents I have brought along, you'll see
Dr. Hildreth at this point referenced flat scan documentation. These documents may be viewed pending commanding officer approval and completion of 36GA42F, IR76B37, and 38J request form. From Lieutenant Max Maestro Garrett. Subject, reply Enoch Merkins.
Clippy, whatever you want to call him, he let you slimes get the rest of my booze. You should be praising the creep instead of focusing on his name.
From Major Terrence Zero O'Hearn. Subject, reply Enoch Merkins.
We're done praising him, Maestro. We have to get back to hyper-focusing. By the way, the booze was the best.
From Major Carl Spider Bowen. Subject, reply Enoch Merkins.
After careful consideration of all the facts I was able to view, I can safely say the following. The man is just called Clippy. I don't know why.
From Lieutenant Max Maestro Garrett. Subject, reply Enoch Merkins.
Oh great, now Spider's trying to be funny. Now I know we're all gonna die.
Personal log 2681.105. We're almost ready for Proxima. A second wormhole? I still don't understand why they haven't just crushed us. They have more tech, ships, and support than the Confederation and the Kilrathi combined. Are they just going to keep opening wormholes and hoping we don't squash them? Seems incredibly short-sighted for a race that seems to be tooling around in space longer than we've been literate. This is something pilots and Marines aren't enough for. We need to evolve some system of real understanding, or we're going to be infested by one cockroach that is suddenly immune to our spray. Krieger was a difficult run. I've never taken down that many carriers in a single system before. How many of these things are there? I want Maestro to shut up with that freaking line of his. How many times must someone say something before they know they shouldn't say it anymore? Anyway, the alien presence in Proxima should be a little weaker for the losses, and that should make our job easier. I hope. That's it. Last log for now. Hopefully, it's not the last forever. Well, given my writing, that might not be such a bad thing. I never think about how embarrassing it'll be if these are looked at when I die. Just in case. To whom it may concern. If you were reading this, I've died. I failed my mission, and I pray to God that you were able to succeed in my place. If you're looking at this for any strategic reasons, you have wasted a bit of scan time, and I apologize for not being thorough. My logs from Midway should have provided all the tactical information I was capable of giving before just needing a way to get some thoughts out of my head. Do me a favor, if it isn't too much to ask, tell my mother I love her. Also, tell Jean Talvert that I'm sorry. I couldn't buy her that round of drinks at the beach like I promised. Man, that's dismal. I better go get in my ship and occupy myself with something I'm good at.